And we're on a treadmill that just keeps turning and turning and turning. And that's what we've said is the situation with most of us. So that our lives and our jobs and our relationships, guided by God, forget it. He's not in the picture at all, except when we're in real trouble. Then we call him in an emergency for some consultation. But on the whole, we tip our foreheads to him and we get going trying to make ourselves secure and of some importance in this world. And most of us live our lives like that. Do you see how far it is from him being king? See, that's it. You can see how far it is from him being the king of your life. And you know that. You know, we don't need to pretend with each other. You know how you live your daily life. Most of it is lived, as you would say, by your common sense, you know. But really, that's just an excuse we have. We really mean it's lived by our own wills. We do what we want to do and what we think we should do. And if I ask you, does God want you to do that? You kind of look at me blankly and say, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't said anything to me about it. And I say to you, have you asked him? And you say, well, now and again I ask him. But really, on the whole, we live an unguided life. A life that is driven by our needs and by our desires. And so the king is not king in our life. In fact, if I asked you what's king in your life, you'd probably say, forget it. Necessity is king in my life. Necessity. I haven't got the luxury of sitting around letting somebody else be my king. Necessity, my needs, the needs I have, the things I have to do. I have to keep moving, otherwise they'll get me. It's the needs that dominate me. That's the king in my life. That wasn't the way it was meant to be, you see. It wasn't meant to be like that. That wasn't God's plan at all. His plan was that you and he would live it together. That's it. That you and he would do it together. You are just different. You are different. You're different. It doesn't matter how close you feel to your loved one beside you. You're different. It doesn't matter how alike you might look to somebody else. You are very different. And there's a life that the Creator wants you to live that is different from all the rest of us. And he wants you to live it with him. And he wants you to talk it over with him. And he wants you to receive his guidance. And you know, don't get all funny about it. Oh, how do you get guidance from God? Is it vision? It's through your thoughts. God feeds his thoughts through your mind and through your spirit. When you have an attitude to him that treats him as king. Now, how do you do that? Well, you know, if you really did love and respect your dad or your mum, I mean, we all differ. Some of us have had great respect for our dads, some of us for our mums, some of us maybe for an uncle or an aunt, or maybe even some of us for school teachers, you know, or ministers, or somebody that we've really respected. Now you think of that. Think of it just your mum or your dad. If you really think a lot of them, you know what happens every time you come to not only an important decision in your life, but even to many of the ordinary things that you do. You immediately think, now what would my mum do here? Now, I wonder what my dad would want me to do here. What would he do? You just naturally think that. You don't go into all kind of mystical experience and try to contact your dad or your mum. You just think, now, what would they do? Now, that's part of what it's like. That's part of the way God meant us to live, you see. That you and I would realize, we'd size things up. We'd see, look, I didn't come here by chance. there's more to this world than meets the eye. There is a God. He put me here. He put me here for a purpose. I'd better start being interested in what he's thinking. And you start treating him with respect. And then every time you're involved in something, you think, now, what does God, I wonder, what does he want me to do here? What does he want me to do in this job situation? Now, I think I should change jobs, but I wonder what he thinks. What does he think? That's the way God intends us to live. Same with marriage, you know. Not, I love this girl, she's really great, I'm just going to marry her. But, Lord God, you know what the story's going to be 10 years down the way. You know what it's going to be like. What do you think? What do you think I should do? And it's the same with the things you say in the office through the week, you know. So the dirty joke goes, you know, so, dirty joke, it's a big deal. You have a God who put you here. He loves you. He's the one you're going to see at the end. Lord, it doesn't feel too good to me. How do you want me to respond to this? That's it. See, if you really love somebody, if you really respect somebody, you don't need special little prayers up to them or mystical experiences. You just have such a desire to please them that you automatically think, now what would you do here?